The U.S. Mint opened their doors in 1793, our first ever U.S. Mint, making coin for us in circulation. But the paper side of our lives, which we rely heavily on today, when did that start? Well, the official U.S. government, that was during the Civil War, right? The fractional currency. But before us, our 13 colonies had a special note they made just for the use of our colonial soldiers. They called that the Continental currency. You very rarely see it. We talk about it once or twice a year, and that next time is right now. Look at these gorgeous pieces of our founding. So at this time in history, we had 13 colonies. So Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Virginia, they made their own paper, and the states at that time, if you want to call them that, made their own paper, backed by the good faith of the people of Pennsylvania, the people of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, etc. Right? Well, we're a union of 13 colonies fighting the British. We have all these soldiers to pay, and saying that we have 48 guys from Rhode Island and 18,000 guys from Pennsylvania, and we're going to pay them accordingly, did not make a lot of sense. So the early Continental Congress introduced a paper currency only to be used for that of paying our troops, called Continental currency. The 13 colonies pooled their money, and they backed it up to make these notes for our soldiers, to have paper, to have funds to send home and or keep themselves afloat during the conflict, right? During the Revolutionary War. All of our notes tonight are different. Every one of them that I have. The common denominator is the quality is consistent. They are all PMG, NGC's paper money division, 25s, all of them. I bought this deal out of about 70 notes, and I pulled out 8 beauties. Great color on the obverse and the reverse. The denominations are all different. $4, $8, 50 cents. Like the one you're seeing here is a $4 note. The reverse we're showing you on the other one is an $8 note. But the quality is the key. These coins are more than 250 years old, and they look this nice today. We have paper money from the early 1900s that you look at and say, my God, what happened to this? So here is the actual details of Continental currency. They were issued from 1775 through 1779, the conflict. May 10th through January 14th. They are individually dated. Inside of that, there were 11 issues. Again, a funding issue, a funding issue, a funding issue. So whenever they needed to raise money to pay the troops at that time, it was a new funding issue. All of them state on the note, paper on top, the series it came from. This is November 2nd, 1776. Right? Uniqueness. But what a fun part of U.S. history. Here's the other part. If you go to PMG's website, and I'm a numbers geek, but I always like to look at what the universe is. Just give me all the information and I'll kind of sort it out in my head the best I can. If I look at every single note that they've looked at, Continental currency over the last 20 years, think about this. There are 7,220 notes that have been certified in all different grades. There are less than 1,000 of them known in uncirculated condition, and those are pricey and wow, how special. If you break them down note by note, as an example, the one on your left is a $4 note from November 2nd, 1776. The largest number of notes known from any particular of the 11 series is 282 notes. Today, if the U.S. Mint chose to make 282 of something, do we have a chance? I mean, when the Morgan dollars came out in 2021, they made 175,000 of them, and they sold out in 3 minutes. And they sell for more than these do. And these are 250 plus years old. This is us. This is how we started. This is what was used to pay the troops. And uniquely enough, no more paper. No federally issued U.S. paper until the Civil War. And it was another conflict that created that to happen. Coin was the realm. The paper that was issued were funding documents, not like paper money like we see it today. Usable paper. It was like, hey, here's a bond you bought and bring it back and get your coupons clipped, etc. But what a great story. Guys, give me a 1 minute clock. Bring me a 93 S Morgan and a VG8 to a fine 12, which is a great collector grade. Expensive, but a great coin. I'm going to smile because that's a fun coin, the rarest of all the Morgan dollars. I'll get you 20 of those to find you one of these. You just don't. And again, the understanding is today's paper money lasts how long? This paper money from 250 years ago, from our founding as a nation, with the storyline you can't make up. They only made federal currency during the Revolutionary War for our troops, and that's the only place they went. And when the war was over, what happened to them? Yeah, just like we did every other time. World War II, we destroyed all the currency afterwards because we don't need it anymore. What do you think they did then? We don't want those IOUs out there, so to speak, right? But everybody, join us. Whether it's one note or two notes, they're all going to be different. But this hand-selected group is special.